And we're back. I thought you said like pack like those those bite-sized in middle school. Hey, don't touch my pack. Get the fuck over that border.
Hey, go back.
Go back.
Anyways, just to crank off a few WTFX. So I have a question for you guys, and I'll give you guys. We'll play it by ear. Ray, I want to hear Ray guess which country not only consumes the most donuts, also has the most donut shops.
U.S.
U.S. Okay, what would you guess?
Which country consumes the most donuts?
AJ, go ahead.
I was thinking of it. Go ahead.
Don't
You
piss
really
me
not
off.
answer?
No. Give me a guess.
No, I'm sorry. You have to repeat the question.
Which? Oh my fucking God. Which country not only consumes the most donuts, also has the most donut stands? Ray says the USA. Bunch of fat fucks here, so it's a good answer. It's a good guess.
Old USA.
I don't know.
Good old fat USA.
Fuck. I'm trying to get something else. I don't fucking know. Donuts.
Just say Texas.
Say Springfield.
Southern California.
Fuck it. Brazil. I'm just gonna
Brazil?
throw out a
Hey,
random
does the back
country.
of my head look like the front of my head?
They have a bunch of stands there. I'd imagine.
I don't even think that country's discovered fried dough yet.
I'm gonna go Canada.
Canada? You fucking knew, didn't you?
No.
It's Canada. Canada not only owns the most donut shops, they also eat the most donuts per capita. It's an alarming rate what's going on over there. Diabetes like a motherfucker.
AJ
I'm 1
thinks
for
he's
1.
all cool.
1 for 1.
All right, another food fact. Do you guys like seafood?
Australia?
Yeah, I like seafood.
What is Australia would have been the right answer. Seafood? Seafood guy?
Nah. Oh, scrimps.
Scrimps. You seafood guy?
Not really.
No.
Scrimps and muff.
Sucks for your wife.
I've had
Scrimps and muff, baby.
I've had a couple birthdays at Red Lobster.
I see food and I eat it.
Fucking dad jokes.
Oh yeah, we saw you and we knew. About 1/3 of all the fish you buy at the market or order at a restaurant is inaccurately labeled, and most of the time, obviously, like they'll list it as an expensive fish and they'll give you the shit stuff. So they'll give you like red snapper on the menu, but you'll get like a tilapia fillet. That really pissed me off because I buy a lot of fish. Also, another guess. I want AJ to start it.
Okay. Well, you don't want to let them get a chance before I get the right answer?
No, fuck you. I know you probably looked that Canada shit up, huh?
How the fuck I'm going to look up donuts?
It's just
instead?
another like developed country. I thought it was gonna be something.
I'm just giving him a
underrated.
hard time because he's a shitty person.
Those
But
are probably the only two countries he knows.
what's the largest search? What's the? Damn it!
He's all salty because he don't...
Dude, look at
He
it.
knows donuts, but he don't know what country
Ooh, you
consumes
got
them the
flamed, boy.
most. That's why I didn't say Ecuador, because fat ass loves donuts.
You don't talk about my fat ass friend like that.
Hey Anthony, are all the people in your country as disgustingly overweight as you are, or is it just you? Anyways, okay, AJ, what's the largest search engine right now that people use?
Oh my god, I think I got
GoDaddy. Now Google, probably.
Okay, yeah, he's right. I won't even let it is Google. Well, all right.
one. Pornhub.
I want to hear it, but dude, have you seen those fucking replies in the like? It'll be like a blowjob scene, but in the comments, people have been having like financial advice. Like, there's been a whole section of like porn good advice, like it was like memes. People are like giving advice on how to start a 401k or how to retire early. Because dude, when you think about it, everyone watches porn. Like, you're educated, you're dumb as fuck, you're rich, you're poor.
No, I'm kidding. I do.
That's what it made me think of. So what would you think is the second largest search engine?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say like the second like best advice you've seen in a Pornhub like comment.
I wish.
Yahoo.
Yahoo? What would you say?
Fuck, I don't know. Like now, either Bing or DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo's a thing?
Yeah, it's a big search engine.
I've never heard of it. That's fucking hilarious.
Look it up.
All right.
No, my guess was gonna be Bing.
Bing. Number 2 is actually YouTube. And a lot of people, a lot of tech experts say that's going to probably get level with Google or surpass it within the next 10 years because People like the visuals that YouTube gives them. And when you actually Google something, the first thing that comes up is YouTube videos on like what you're talking about or what you're asking.
That's true.
Mm.
See, I didn't even know what constitutes as a search engine. Like, I
Don't
don't
do
know.
this.
Doesn't Google wait? Doesn't one of those companies own the other? Like Google owns YouTube or YouTube?
Yeah,
owns
Google owns
something like that?
YouTube. Yeah.
No. So the rich getting richer, huh?
No, imagine they have the number
Dude, how
one
much
and
you
number
think
two.
YouTube? I know the inventors of YouTube, I believe, sold it for $70 million. So they split $35 million.
I mean,
I thought they sold it for a lot more.
I think
Didn't Google buy it?
it might have been 140 million, and they got 70. I might be getting the figures wrong, but it was
You know what's crazy?
$35 million.
You know what's crazy? I thought it was even more than that though. Like $1 million seems like low. I thought it was like in the B's.
You know what? Anthony, look this up. Tech guy, look this up. We need to get this squared away.
Didn't
What is it?
didn't something recently sell for
How
a
much
B?
was YouTube sold for
Beats?
originally?
Beats headphones.
I know Beats headphones sell for a B, but you're telling me YouTube or Google won't?
1.65 billion.
Oh man, Ray was right as fuck.
Yeah, I told you.
What year was it sold?
2006.
Ah, damn! I was gonna say.
Damn, that went for a B back then.
Yeah.
A B back then is worth like a T right now.
Wait, when did the Clippers sell? This was recent, like a couple
bill?
years ago. That was a B a couple years ago.
How many T's is that worth now? Yes.
Clippers sold for $2 billion to Steve Ballmer.
2.1, I think. Right.
So YouTube sold for almost as much as the Clippers, and they don't even have a championship. Imagine if they actually were good. It'd be like at least 4 Bs.
Dude, and at the time that they sold too, they were going through like some crazy ass shit. Like imagine if it was like a fucking like a really respectable franchise that was being sold at that time. Because it was
That
when
time was just a racist franchise.
yeah, that's all it was. They had to be sold because that's when Donald.
Sterling got banned. For-
I don't know why the fuck I was gonna say Donald Trump, but hey, mix and match, I guess. There.
It's his fault. Whenever I'm having a rough day at work, I look at one of my coworkers. I'm like, man, fuck Trump. Like if I stub my toe or something, fucking Trump. So yeah. Anyways, that was a little thing, and I want to know if you guys agree with this. This is the second to last fact I have. Experts say having a messy and unorganized fridge/kitchen leads to overeating by about 30 to 35%. And when you do have a clean, organized fridge or like a clean eating area, you cut just even if you're not on a diet or conscious about your weight, just by having like your fridge clean, you'll eat about 15 to 10% less calories just from having organization.
That's funny. In my opinion, I thought it was gonna be the opposite because there's been times where I've gone in my grandma's house and opened up the fridge like hungry as fuck, and I can't find shit that I want to
There's
eat.
too much stuff.
or that, and I'll just close the fridge and fucking not eat because I didn't know what the fuck. Like I couldn't find shit that I wanted or something that like looked good to me.
Dude,
Do you guys? What
I
about
don't
you?
know.
I know you fucking live
Yeah.
out there in the boonies.
I don't know so much about a clean fridge, but I do see the logic for a clean kitchen because like I feel like people who are like clean and want to keep clean after you eat, like you're so focused and ready to go on washing the dishes and cleaning the counter and fixing up the mess you just made to eat. So I don't know. You probably don't want to eat more. You're just ready to clean.
Now, what about you?
God damn. I agree with it. Because most of the time, a fucking clean and organized fridge is a fucking empty fridge. So there's nothing to eat in that fucking fridge.
Nah, I get that. Yeah, I'm gonna actually kind of agree with it a little bit because my fridge is always jam packed because my mom likes to cook for like fucking 35 immigrant children when there's only like 3 people living here, and there's always just way too much shit in the fridge. But if I'm really hungry, like Ray said, I'll crack the fridge open and I'll look through it until I find stuff that I do like, and I'll end up taking a few bites of this, left over that. And then before you know it, I'm like, damn, came in over here for a late night snack. I'm having a whole ass meal. All right, and last fact I have is the first ever e-commerce. We've been talking about that a lot. The first ever e-commerce purchase was a Stanford student buying weed from an MIT student, and the strain he was buying, if you guys are interested, was Trainwreck. Disappointingly, it was not Blue Dream. I was hoping not. I was holding out hope.
When it's talking about e-commerce, what are the specifics on that?
Yeah, I was gonna say, was there like what was the retailer?
Is it like
or
fucking
name?
Bitcoin or something?
Didn't even look into
It
it.
sounds like some underground shit, probably some private internet thing.
I mean, if you think about it, if you're fucking electronically buying weed, like obviously it's illegal. You can't be
Yeah.
like fucking.
Well, it's probably before the internet was even a thing, or like it just started. Because I think when the internet
Oh.
started, it was just for like college students or research. I think that was like the initial purpose for the internet. So Stanford, MIT, I'm kind of putting that together.
Oh yeah, like top ranked facilities or institutions, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's
makes
like
sense.
What, yeah, the internet was started being used by.
Man, hey, but isn't it kind of crazy? Because like on the dark web, I don't know nothing about it, but I watched like a little bullshit documentary about like what's like the software you use to run the dark web? You got to download like what's it called?
Tor?
Tor, yeah. And then there's like ads for like Hitman and crystal meth, and you could get that shit like shipped to your house, huh?
Yeah,
Like
I
that's
think
how it's
so.
supposed to work.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Dude,
I'd imagine.
yeah, fuck that.
I like watching it. Like I'll see like a documentary on like drug dealers, and I remember this guy said it so funny. He's like, oh yeah, the best distribution center is like whatever is like USPS or something. Like I don't know. He just said it all fucking cool. Like he's like, that's the best fucking dealer in the world. Like get all my drugs through them.
Damn.
Dude, I saw-
I don't think they inspect their shipments.
Yeah, I don't think they can because one of my coworkers always jokes around that like, oh man, like one day at work, because we have a bunch of boxes at work with shit in them, and he's like, man, one of these days, one of these boxes is just gonna fucking blow up.
Yeah, that's scary.
And ever since he said that, I was like, fuck you. Now I think about it every now and then.
I saw like it's fucked up to think, but I saw a video like of that recently. Like some dude and his wife walked up to their because they had a front porch like camera, and the dude picked up his package and was walking to the front door with it, and it blew up in his hand, and he ended up losing his hand because of the injuries.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say losing his life. I was gonna say,
Oh no!
fuck.
It looked pretty. It looked
Well,
like
it
a
still
pretty.
sucks either way. I know what you mean.
It looked like a pretty big explosion. I mean, obviously it was big enough to take his fucking hand. Like, but fuck, that makes you think like, god damn.
God, every time I get packages now, I'm gonna be paranoid.
Well,
Some
depends
people-
what you got. If you got like a battery, got hot.
No, but didn't you hear? There was like a story in Texas, I think, like a year or two ago. It might have been a UPS or USPS facility that someone made like a homemade bomb, like detonated to go off if someone fuck with it too much.
Wait, didn't they? That the guy who wore those gloves from Home Depot?
I don't
That's how
know.
they got him.
yeah,
Because I always
Oh.
saw those gloves at Home Depot.
Yeah.
Remember
it might have been
shit?
that same one. I know what you're talking about.
Richie recently got a package from Amazon, and he was getting like supplements, and it was a sealed package, and I guess the person threw it over the fence, and like I guess the pressure of the fucking whatever the fuck was in that bottle like kind of popped the top, and it cracked the package open. Like
Oh, it did?
He like I think he was exaggerating, but he was like, dude, my fucking thing blew up.
Was he? Did he send it back? Get his money back?
I not well. He said everything inside of it was cool. The only thing because he uses the cap to like drink. It's kind of like one of those like liquid supplements that you like take a shot.
Uh huh.
So the top cracked, but he has
In this lot.
one. He has one that he ordered out before. So he's just gonna reuse that cap.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
But honestly, I mean, just working with a lot of packages all the time, a lot of them are broken even before that because like they fall down like this massive fucking waterfall of never-ending shit. Some of those things weigh 3 ounces and they're at the bottom, and then you got something that weighs like 50 pounds falling on that. So it could have been that.
There was one time I ordered a protein powder from Amazon, and it was
Why? You don't live.
It was on its way. It was on its way to my house and everything. I was getting all the alerts, and then the day it was supposed to come, it was like saying like, "Oh, your thing is 7 stops away," and then when it was like 3 stops away, I got an email saying that my package was compromised or something stupid like that happened. I got my money refunded. So I was wondering like, what the fuck in that period of time happened where they couldn't deliver my fucking protein?
The guy probably was curious. It's
Or
like,
they
damn, I
probably
get
robbed the fucking truck.
either that or the guy's like,
Happened to us.
or maybe the guy shook it. He's like, man, this is probably some protein powder. I should probably start going to the gym and get fucking jacked. He just took your shit. Or would you be more pissed off if you just seen him like scooping the protein in his mouth? He goes, man, that's some good shit. Where'd you get this from? No, but I mean, that's all I got for facts.
All right, I have a question. Just because of what's going on in the news, do you guys know how many U.S. presidents have been impeached in our history?
Holy fuck.
0.
One
I'm
or two.
going to say 3.
Okay, so the answer is 2. It's Andrew Johnson and
Nixon?
Bill Clinton, both for what falls under I guess their presidential duties, high crimes and misdemeanors. So
Jeez.
I didn't look too much into what Andrew Johnson's case was, but with Bill Clinton, it was like the whole Monica Lewinsky and like lying under oath type thing. I believe he'd lied to Congress or whatever. I forget what that whole deal was, but now the whole Trump thing is like going on now because I believe he had like conversations with the president of Ukraine trying to dig up some dirt on Joe Biden and his son, because I think Joe Biden's son works in the Ukraine, like under a government job
Uh-huh.
or something, and they were trying to. Some people were trying to say that it's like nepotism, like how he even got like a really like high class like job like that, and then like that's one strike against him, and then I think also there was like certain money or other type of things involved, and like Trump. That I guess Trump's just trying to dig up dirt since Joe Biden's like the front runner right now to run against them for the next election.
Nah, that makes sense.
I know that's a really like shitty paraphrasing of what the fuck's going on, but
Now, you know what's funny that you say that? The other day I was doing homework, and I don't do social media really right now. I'm just fucking too busy with work and school. But, like, I looked up the other day in the middle of doing my homework. I even asked my brothers, I was like, fuck, I haven't heard anything from Trump in a long time. Did he stop doing dumb shit? And then I kind of realized, oh, no, I just fucking stopped reading dumb shit.
yeah.
So that's kind of funny. But Richard Nixon was supposed to get impeached, but he got a presidential pardon, huh?
I also thought, did he finish his term? I was thinking, did he resign?
No,
as
I think
president?
that's what because a president has the power to pardon anyone from any crime with no reason. Even if the U.S. Supreme Court's like, oh, you're guilty of murder,
Yeah.
the president could literally say, nah.
I think they were going through the process of impeaching him, and they had a shitload of fucking evidence to basically do it. And then that's when you're saying the presidential part, like I guess that just overtook it, and they just said fuck
Yeah,
it.
but that's why most presidential pardons come from people who are already dead because it's not going to affect anything. Like that lady who died in prison for doing something, and Donald Trump gave her like a presidential pardon. That didn't do nothing. That's just for like the what do you call it? Like the closure of the family. Like, oh, okay, like her name was cleared, but like nothing ever came of it. I think that's one of the few times it was ever used on a living person because it was like a president. But honestly, man, I think politics is just like college football. Every program's dirty. It's who gets caught.
Yeah.
You know what? Nah, you know what? I take it back. I think like there are some clean ones, but they're like few and fucking far between.
Or there's conspiracies about them. Like Andrew Yang, I've been following him, and I feel like there's like huge conspiracies. They're trying to like silence him, or like during the debates, like they cut off his mic, like shit like that. So whenever he's here, what I actually saw. So it's not like I heard. Like I was watching the debates, and I saw that like he was trying to talk. Like whenever like people start disrupting, and like okay, let me get my point across. Like he's talking, and you don't hear shit come out because like the mic was silenced for a bit. So it makes you wonder. But yeah, to comment on the whole Trump thing, to hear the other side, because I know everyone has heard about that. And yes, I did hear this from Fox News, but it is worth looking into. Supposedly that there was a law in place like in the 70s that said that you could ask for like some assistance regarding a current or foreign assistance regarding a current trial or indictment or something, because supposedly, or investigation. So supposedly, I think Joe Biden, there is an investigation going on. Are you aware of that? I'm not sure. Or his son.
Actually sure. It
So
probably
if
has
that
to do with
is
the son.
true,
Oh no, I think it's a son. I think it's
Yeah.
it's a criminal thing right now with the son.
so if that is true, then it kind of makes sense. Other than that, if it's not like in regards to a current crime, then yes, I do see how that's a bad thing, or abusing his powers to get dirt on his opponent. But that's just worth kind of looking into, because I didn't hear about that. I only heard about that from them. I heard
think
all
it's-
the other shit. I heard about the calls.
I think
Adam Schiff's fucking he repeated it or mentioned the whole transcripts, but I don't know.
I think it's because just on the Democrat side, they're trying to steer it towards like he's trying to affect the upcoming election, and everybody's still kind of like really pissed off about thinking or not knowing whether or not Russia like really fucked with the last election.
2016, yeah.
So I guess they're thinking like that kind of like fucks up like national security if other countries really have that much access to like our elections and shit and like are able to rig them.
Have you seen I don't know if that's what it's called. I know it's the name of the company. You guys heard about Cambridge Analytica, right?
Never in my life.
No?
Explain it.
Okay. Cambridge Analytica was a company, or like a marketing company that was supposedly was bought by, or not bought, or was like working with, I think, Russia, and I don't know who else, or certain candidates to help. That's where they helped rig the election. Supposedly they really hammered down and cracked down on Facebook, where they were able to like perfectly market President Trump's campaign and make him look great and show all the conservative and right-wing news, and that's how a lot of people ended up voting for Trump or whatever. So there's a whole documentary, and I think it's called Cambridge Analytica. It's on Netflix. It's actually worth watching. Like, it's really cool how they said, like, you know, the typical Facebook shit we know, like, oh, they see their friends or they see their interactions and they're like, okay, we'll target them because they're most likely the one to be swayed or persuaded to go into the Trump side, and that's what they did. They would target them. So they did personality tests. And then based on the results, they knew, okay, who they should target. And again, it was kind of just like a influence type of thing.
I mean, if that's what's considered like interfering with an election, doesn't that seem kind of like weak to like prove like in like the court of law or something like that? Because you're kind of like fucking with like people's like feelings and like their mind, like their mindset and like the information that they have, and not necessarily like you're not necessarily going to like the polls and like making it so that something like other votes are coming out for a different candidate or something like that.
I guess so, but at what point? I don't know. It makes you do wonder. At what point is it? I get what you're saying, but if we're using that logic, at what point is it interfering? Because what if like they totally, I don't know, silenced other media outlets, which I know they didn't. I think at that point maybe where it's like you only hear one thing and that you think that's the truth because that's what you have to accept as the truth because you don't know anything else, right? I can't march to the White House and get all the information that I need to know. I just have to trust CNN or fucking Fox News or whatever. So I don't know. That is kind of weird, but I do agree that's hard to prove because it's just like it's your dumbass fault for listening to those ads and shit. I don't know.
Yeah, because like I mean, even if they were to pinpoint it and say like, oh, it's a really big company or corporation that was able to have like spread this much misinformation and shit. But like ultimately, doesn't it just come down to the person that's receiving that information and like whether or not what they want to do or act on and shit?
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. That's kind of my.
No, this is exactly what we talked about last podcast when I remember that crime we were talking about. It's illegal to come into someone's life and over years swindle them out of money.
Oh yeah.
I was like, I don't think that should be a crime. You should just not be an idiot. But it's the same thing you guys are talking about. Like, I completely agree. Like, no, you should be able to show people whatever they want and whatever the fuck they want to do with it. That's their decision.
You kind of heard our point, but what do you guys think? Like, do you guys think that should be a crime? Like, if just like hitting you with misinformation about like the election and
But is it misinformation though?
Some people, you know what? That's a good point. 'Cause some people
that
it
is a
is, some
good point.
people it's not, and you're not going to convince them otherwise.
Well, then especially now too, like after that, like the Trump hit and like his administration was like is willing to call information like that like alternative facts or like fake news and
I was gonna
stuff
say,
like
so
that.
let's not call it misinformation. What if it's biased information? But like you, for some reason, you were targeted, and they were like, they convinced the shit out of you that Trump was like, fucking God's gift to Earth.
Fuck no.
See, it's hard because I don't think I'd be persuaded by an ad. Like, I'm not that kind of person to be like, oh, all right, cool, get my vote.
So you don't think it'd be a crime or should be a crime? Or
No,
is
I
that
think
wrong?
it's a crime for you not to fucking follow up on your shit. And
I guess true.
I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I see like a McDonald's commercial. I'm like, ooh, I know where I'm going later. So occasionally an ad will work on me, or if like I already buy that product and it's a good deal. But I was gonna say Amazon does the same thing. Like they tailor make your like suggestions for you based on your purchase history.
Exactly,
It's like,
yeah.
So why is that not illegal?
Well, there's a bunch of shit like that. Like, there's so much data out there.
That's
like,
the point I'm making. Like, it's everywhere, so why is it?
like on Instagram and shit, don't they like your advertisements like change?
Ooh, don't use the big IG. I wouldn't know.
I think people would argue the whole political side because that affects everybody. Our everyday lives are affected by politics. Like, it's not like Amazon. That just affects your personal, your toiletries and whatever the fuck else you buy on Amazon.
I don't know. I'm just like a big fan of personal liberty and like just don't fuck with someone. Like you could shoot someone an email, you could shoot them a text, you could try to knock on their door, and the minute they say no, leave them the fuck alone. But if they like have the time of day to listen to you, yeah, sit there for 4 hours and convince them of something. That's completely up to those two people. I don't think there should be like a massive rule put in place being like you can't do this in this neighborhood or that neighborhood. It's just like let the fucking people do what they want to do. That's why I mean it's funny. I like to work out and eat a certain way, but I don't give a fuck if people want to go to like McDonald's 6 times a day till they eat themselves to death. Like that's their freedom. That's their choice. I'm not gonna fuck with that.
Actually, you know what? It is a crime to shove McDonald's down my throat. That's why we're all fat. All that fat marketing.
What the hell are you doing?
Right?
Yeah.
He's just
fuck
homie's just
power.
coughing here.
Ray gets hit with a curveball. He's acting like a first grader over here.
Oh, so like this conversation leads right into like another thing I was gonna ask about. Like, what do you guys think about like this? It's like a small controversy about like the new Joker movie that's coming out. Like there was a lot of the main kind of complaints came from the victims of the Aurora shooting, that movie theater shooting that happened in Colorado.
Of course.
Like a lot of the parents were writing. They wrote like strongly worded letters to, I believe it's Warner Brothers. That's the studio that's putting out this movie, And I think just the main argument was like based off of, I don't know if they've even seen the movie or if they're just basically going off of the trailer, and just kind of they're stating like their concerns that the backstory or like the origin story of this Joker, like that the character they're following is like bad and is gonna like normalize like violence to like I guess like having like not being successful in his life in your life, or like being depressed and stuff like that, because I think the movie's gonna explore stuff like that, because I think in the backstory they're using, this Joker is like a failed like comic or like a failed like fucking, I don't even know if it's like a clown or something, and then he just kind of turns to like a violent life of crime, I guess, after.
Well, first of all, I feel sorry for the parents of the thing, but I think that's like dumb. That's 100% based on feelings, because if you want to block like a movie from having a certain storyline, then like if you do that, then like everything could be blocked. Like higher education, like in one of my classes, we're talking about like slavery in depth, like how people were beaten and dismembered and killed in front of family members for like teaching a lesson and stuff like that. It's like serious. We're showing images. It fucks with people. Professor's like, hey, if you want to leave class, like go ahead, it's on you, but we have to cover this with the curriculum. So I just feel like anything else, like there's so many different like playwrights and movie ideas out there, like violence is it might be kind of fucked up, but violence is like part of human nature, like always at war with someone or something. So I mean, you can't completely remove it from everything. I mean, to be honest, that shit wouldn't sell. Well, who would want to go see a movie where Joker's like happy and married and has no conflict? Probably an empty ass movie theater.
It sounds to me like we're getting to the point where we're wanting to get rid of action movies, horror movies, anything that's remotely like, obscene.
Comedies, everything.
You're right. Good point on comedies. But I don't know. It just reminded me of something like, so don't show violence on the screen. It's like that's what we've been having violent movies and action movies since forever,
It's just watch your kids, monitor what they're doing. It's not hard.
Yeah, but
you have ratings on them for a reason.
It's kind of crazy, but by that kind of logic, we can't expose young kids to this because they'll be like that potentially. That's like every kid that grows up in like a really rough area that hears gunshots every night. Is every kid going out there and doing gunshots and selling drugs? No.
Yeah.
Because like you could look at something from a third person perspective and be like, I don't really want to get caught up in that.
Yeah, that's not for me.
So like I've never once seen a movie about like, like I don't know, shooting at people or doing anything. It's like, ooh, dang, that's good.
I want to be a gang member so bad.
Yeah, it doesn't get my brain jogging. Like I go in there knowing it's entertainment, and I know other people going in there and they get inspired to do stupid ass shit.
I don't want to be a fucking superhero.
Yeah, but like I said, it's all like personal liberty. Like if you want to, like, how are you going to control someone's thoughts about a movie they just saw? You can't.
I don't know. This reminds me of like, and this happened way back in 2000. There was huge controversy with Eminem when he came out with his album, and it was just because of how violent it was lyrically. And his main point of defense was like, it has the parental advisory sticker. You know what I mean? Kids, it's not for kids. And then his main thing was like, haven't you seen like horror movies? Like it's I'm just basically writing a horror movie and put it into music, like, you know what I mean? And he compared it to movies, like, and I thought that was interesting because that's true. Like, horror and action movies have been around for a long time, and now it just sounds like we're trying to censor that. It just seems like we're just nitpicking what we want to censor or what we should censor.
It's crazy. That motherfucker actually had to go into court and defend his fucking like music and shit.
His First Amendment rights.
To a fucking judge.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but like the lot of things happens with school districts too. Like I know a few people work for school districts that say like, oh, like one kid is bullying another, and those kids end up getting in a fight in a playground or something like that, or like after school, even outside of campus property. And then the parents of the kid who got bullied want to sue the school district. They don't have enough resources to have a freaking teacher or an administrator with every single kid who has an issue. It's just stretched too thin. And then like it makes more sense to be like, why don't you sue the parent of that fucked up kid?
Yeah.
Even if they don't have much to offer, even if $500 would really hurt them, give me that $500 fucking dollars. Like I think it's kind of dumb that a school district is responsible for those kind of things, because at the end of the day, like firefighters are there to put out your house fire, right? But how many of them are there before the fucking fire happens? You blame them? Yeah. How many times are the cops right there at the moment you need them? Hardly ever. It's the same thing. So like that kind of shit bothers me.
What about what about when you hear? Because I heard even that recent case with that one kid. I don't know, a kid I think got killed or something. I don't know.
Oh
whatever.
yeah, you're right. I saw it in the news.
It's supposedly that the school district knew about it. So like, what about that? When they say, "Oh, we know about this bullying, we plan to take action," and then they don't keep to their promise or something. And then more bullying happens, and a kid commits suicide, or a kid fucking gets beaten to death, or something. I don't know.
Well, I know like a lot of school districts do fail and do a terrible job of doing anything at all, even having like a sit down meeting with like both parents and kids present. And yeah, obviously you gotta take the loss for that one. But a lot of times, like I said, like some of these fights happen after school, outside school property, and the parents still want to sue the school for something that happened off school property.
Yeah,
and
I agree with
then they did do the right thing. They separated the classrooms. They gave this kid a warning. They gave that kid a warning. Both parents know about it, and then something fucked up still happens. But that just goes to my point. You can't really control human nature. Like if someone really wants to go do something, there's not much you could do to stop them. Like unless you have a fucking mind reading machine, you could tell what they're gonna do in the future. But obviously that doesn't exist.
That's a good point. I didn't hear about that recent case, but that would be worth looking into. But I do agree. Like even if they did do as much as they can do. Yeah, how can you fucking predict like some crazy shit happening?
Yeah, like there's a lot of depressed people that see therapists, and therapists are educated and licensed to do that kind of thing.
Well, you don't sue the therapist.
Yeah, but if that person still ends up committing suicide or hurting themselves, you're not going to sue the therapist.
Yeah.
So I hate that kind of culture. You know what's funny? I don't watch the news on purpose because I always feel like, man, that shit just puts you in a bad mood. And the other day, I haven't watched news in fucking weeks or heard of news on Twitter or on any sort of like YouTube. If I get a political ad, if I'm watching a different video, I literally turn the volume down because I don't want to hear it. And then the other day, my mom turned on the news like at night, and I never watch news. I swear to God, all 4 stories back to back were worse than the other, and it was about like like a murder, a rape, drug dealing gone wrong, and like why your school kids' lunches are giving them brain cancer and shit. And I was like, and I literally said, see, this is why I don't watch this shit, because I was in a good mood. I did my homework. I'm about to go to the gym. And now all these people are killing and raping each other. Like, not around me, they're not, but it feels like it now.
Yeah, it's funny. There's one time I actually had to make a conscious decision like that, too. And I was just, like, looking up, like, videos and shit. And I was just like, fuck, this is, like, fucking with me mentally. I got to stop watching this shit.
You know what's funny? I think you've always done a good job of that, and I kind of haven't. But that's why, like, sometimes when I would ask you about shit, and you're like, nah, I haven't heard about it, because I know you don't really mess with social media. Like, for years you haven't. And when I'd always ask you about stuff, you're like, no, I haven't. And I was like, damn. I got to get to that point because, like, even all this political talk, even though it's interesting, even though, like, some valid points are being made, at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck.
I fucking missed the days where you had information to tell people and then they didn't know what the fuck you were talking about, so you had to either teach them or tell them about it. Because every now and then when I tell Karina, like, oh, did you hear about this? And then she's like, oh, yeah, I did. And I'm like, okay, conversation done.
Like, nothing's a surprise?
Yeah, so then, like, and then sometimes she'll bring some shit to me. I'm like, oh, no, I didn't hear that. So then we just talk about that for a while, and, like, she's, like, telling me stuff. So it's like, fuck. Sometimes it's good, and then sometimes it's just like fuck, end of conversation.
Next time she does that, have a water balloon just ready. Just fucking bomb her with one. Be like, oh, well, are you surprised with that? Well,
oh, that was shit. Actually, that goes into this fucking thing I was gonna talk about, like this social media thing. So this happened maybe like 2 weeks ago. On
we heard about it.
It was like, yeah, I know you guys heard about. Well, you guys maybe actually did.
Kidding, I don't know.
It was like on. I'm pretty sure AJ heard about this.
What's involved?
It's kind of like a sports story. So this guy was like on College Game Day, and he held up a sign in the background that said like I forgot. It said something like beer supply low, please send money, and
Venmo,
he had his Venmo account like on his poster, and people had done this. Like, it's funny, like some people's things have gone viral. Like there was a guy one time that did it with Bitcoin, and people actually sent him Bitcoin, and he sent his Bitcoin account. This was way before Bitcoin even like blew up. But anyway, in this case, so this guy, people sent him a shitload of money because it went viral, and I think it went all the way up to like 500,000 or something like that.
Holy fuck!
So
I gotta do it.
So he got 500,000 to his Venmo, and then I believe he put a specific name of a beer on his poster. And so the company Anheuser-Busch, I think they do like Budweiser maybe, or I forget what.
Yeah, they do like a lot of fucking beers.
I forget what other beers they do. So they got involved and said,
they match
they'll match what everybody sends them. So altogether, this guy, like, just off of this little like viral thing, raised $1 point something million. and he ended up like doing it like for a good cause. He donated all the money to
I think the
Children's Hospital in like Iowa or something like that.
Well, did he say it was being used for like a charity?
I think originally he was doing it like just as a joke, like wondering like maybe he thought he was gonna get like $50 and just gonna say fuck it, like pocket it. But then when I think he kind of, I don't know if he got freaked out or just decided just to do like maybe he's just a good dude and decided to do something cool when he realized how much fucking money it was. So when that whole thing happened and Anheuser-Busch got involved as well, they offered him like a role in the company. I think they made him like a custom beer. They gave him like cans with his face on it, like named it after him. And I think they were gonna sell it. And then proceeds from whatever they sold were also gonna go to that dude's cause, like go to the Children's Hospital. So then there was a newspaper in Iowa, like one of the reporters, they wanted to do like a report on him, just talk about like, oh, this is the guy that raised $1 million in for the Children's Hospital, kind of do like a feel good story about him. So I guess digging into information on him, they saw that on his Twitter when he was like, it was 9 years ago when because he's 25 now. So 9 years ago when he was 16, he tweeted racist stuff when he was 16, and technically it wasn't like his own thoughts. I think he was quoting like Tosh.0, like one of his episodes or something.
Dang,
But
Tosh is racist?
But I think he it was like a racist joke. I forget what exactly the joke was. I don't know. I don't even want to like fuck around and say it was this or whatever. But so they dug into that and they put it into the story like on like one of the last paragraphs or whatever. And it kind of caused like outrage. Like people were like, "What the fuck? This guy did something good, and you guys went and like kind of tried to like tear him down after he did something like, really good." And it was like a whole like thing that didn't even need like nobody needed to go back and like look at his shit.
Bullshit.
So then like after that happened, like people started like calling out the newspaper and shit, and then they were just saying like, "Oh, like it was just information that we found," and instead of putting it like as a main part of the story, we put it in the last paragraph. So just because we felt we needed to be like transparent with our story. So then people started looking into the reporter that did the main story, and it turns out that reporter also like a few years, maybe I think even recently, maybe like 3 or 4 years back, had a shitload of racist tweets and stuff like that. But his stuff was personal. It was his own like his own mind, like his own jokes.
The Chinese smell, like what was he saying?
Like he wasn't quoting like a comedian or a TV show or anything. He was just like tweeting like some
brown
stupid
people suck.
racist shit.
That's fucking
So then
hilarious.
I think what they did, he end up getting fired because I know like on Twitter and stuff he ended up like fucking like making his stuff private and just saying like, oh fuck this. He put out an apology. And yeah, I guess like so AJ with the update, I guess that dude is fired now and doesn't have a job.
And well, that dude that they ended his partnership with him too, Anheuser-Busch.
Yeah, like when they found out about his tweets, that's what kind of sucks that they built it up. Like they still said they were gonna donate like all that money and shit like that, but like I think after that they took away from like that dude's partnership and took his face off of the beer.
I'm just laughing at the chain, like they just kept digging.
Yeah, dude, it just kept fucking going, and I was like, you start to think about it, like, fuck, you can do that with like, especially now, like everybody has like a social media footprint, you know?
Dude, if I was that fired reporter, I'm taking down the fucking site or the newspaper fucking company. I'm taking out everyone.
Digging.
No, and
Dig.
it is annoying because I honestly feel like a high percentage of people, if you dig on them, you're gonna find some really messed up shit that they thought or said at one point in time. So I think they got this guy's back because he used the money for a good thing. So like that's why. But dude, could you imagine how outraged it would have been if he would have fucking driving around in a luxury car and he fucking bought a new home?
He's on a fucking yacht with bitches and shit.
Dude, they would have been at that front guy's fucking house throwing eggs at it and shit.
Yeah.
But because I think he did a good thing, like most people had his back. Like, hey, this is like a little feel good story. Like, fuck you for this. This has no relevance. Like, and it's funny because I'm taking a race and ethnicity class. And we cover a lot of topics like that. Like we're like a black guy on his way to a job interview. Like he helped some lady getting robbed. And he beat that dude's ass till cops got there. And the cops arrested him. And then they interview him and they do it. But like the fucking headline says like ex-convict helps woman getting robbed. It's like, what the fuck does that have to do with it? Like this guy's name is Ray Williams. Why the fuck you gotta, and then they get in detail. Formerly tried for second-degree murder, has turned his life around, and he's trying to get a job, and it's just like, is it a fact? Yeah, but it doesn't really have relevance to what happened. which is
Yeah.
why I think. And then the whole Twitter thing's annoying. It's like whatever athlete does good in college or high school, that's like the what they say now.
Get
Go
'em.
through the Twitter.
I can't believe they went back 9 years. That's just crazy, man.
I know who do they hire in the department? And be like, hey, you have no life, right? Look at this guy's Twitter.
Yeah, for real, I was gonna think like that's like a different kind of digging because that's not even like it's not even about the story they were writing anymore. They were literally supposed to just give people information about how cool this dude was and how nice he is for doing that, and they literally went back 9 years on his Twitter just to fucking post some old tweets and shit.
I don't. You'd be surprised. Like technology with AI, it's like getting advanced. Like they're able to detect sentiments and like I think that's what Twitter and shit uses. I think they have bots that will detect like racist remarks, and I don't know what defines a racist remark, but they'll have bots I think dig for that. So I wouldn't be surprised if someone has something like that. Easily search their fucking history and
Yeah, that's how like Twitter polices themselves right now, right?
I think so.
Like-
yeah,
Yeah.
sure. A lot of it is automated. That's cool. It's cool and
Kinda-
scary.
Kind of, I don't know. It made me laugh when you're like, so then they were pissed off that they dug on him, so
Yeah.
they dug on the
I was
reporter.
gonna say like it just kept
Report.
fucking going. Like I was like, fuck.
And I felt bad because what if the reporter didn't even want to do it? Like his boss said, "Hey, put it in there."
Yeah, oh yeah, no, that's true. We're like, hey, this story's not good enough. Make it a little spicy.
Yeah.
The fuck you mean spicy? Like to his Twitter, fucker.
No, I know a lot of reporters. I imagine they don't like half the shit they put out. You know.
Maybe, but I don't know, man. No one has a halo walking around, so that's why I hate when we find out someone does something bad. They're like, "Oh man, look at this fuck up." It's like, dude, you probably never paid your taxes.
I remember watching like Don Lemon talk with Morgan Freeman. I think they were talking about like race and shit like that, and he was just like, and Morgan Freeman's more like the conservative, the more like black people can be successful, no matter what the case is. Like, look at you and me. He's like, we're rich, we're doing good things, whatever. And at the end of it, I remember Don Lemon was kind of like, you know what, like. I'm not saying I disagree. I hate that we have to talk about these kind of things. And it sounded like he kind of admitted, like, I don't like to get all racial with it. It's like something I probably have to do as my job, whatever, as a news reporter, blah, blah, blah. I just thought that was interesting.
Yeah. You got anything else for us, Ramus?
I have a story about a 6-year-old getting arrested from her school. So
Alright.
I guess a school like security guard arrested this 6-year-old. It happened in Florida.
Well, yeah.
So apparently this 6-year-old was kicking one of the other students, and the guard, like the school police officer, I guess, couldn't keep the situation under control. So he put the kid in handcuffs, I was gonna say put it. I think it was a little girl. Put her in a car and then took her to the station. And then the grandma had to go get the 6-year-old later. And I guess it's against the law for a police officer to arrest a minor that's below the age of 12 without superior authorization. So like that's gonna be looked into. So that cop's probably gonna get dealt with.
Damn.
No, that cop should definitely be fired. You can't fucking control a 6-year-old.
Yeah, and then also I believe the 6-year-old has a medical condition, which I mean is sleep apnea. I mean I'm not
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if that's like a really bad what do you call it medical condition where like you can get away with being a dick in school and kicking kids, but the grandma seemed to think that was like a really big issue that she needed to argue.
Nah, I mean, probably. I mean, honestly, the family's just trying to get a fat-ass paycheck. I can't blame them. I think I'd do the same thing if they fucking nab my kid up like that. But sleep apnea is like, yeah, it's definitely not brain cancer. It'd look way worse. But, man, if you're a cop, you can't control a 6-year-old. How are you going to control a grown-ass man trying to put his hands on you? Like, they should have that. Like, at the end of the academy, they should call it grown-ass man test. Just have a grown-ass man run at you and try to kick your ass. And if you can't do it, you can't be a cop. Because, I mean, what's every cop's worst fear? Having a grown-ass man come at you.
Grown-ass man training.
With a knife or a gun. But in this test, no knife, no gun. Just straight fists. And they just put you in a room, and it's all dark, and they don't say where he's coming. Huh?
Probably no cops out here.
Yeah.
But
Well,
that's the final test.
I got a story about a kid. I wanted to bring it up. 8-year-old in Ohio. I just think it's cool. It just goes to show you how amazing YouTube is. And we were talking about YouTube earlier. He learned how to drive, so he snuck out at night, took his little sister to McDonald's. And he wasn't injured, nothing. They just called the cops. I guess a family friend actually was there. And they just, I guess, took them home. I don't think anything happened of it. They said that they just ate their cheeseburgers. I just think that's fucking amazing that a kid learned how to drive from YouTube. That's gonna be one successful ass kid, if you ask me.
My brother, yeah, it's crazy. You can learn to do anything. Like my brother, I mean, none of my brothers, including myself, are really good with tools or fixing shit. And Alex, not that long ago, fucking put a brand new radiator and a starter, I think, in his car just off YouTube and the most basic tools. And if you would have told him to do it with like no direction, he would have been fucked. You would have had to probably buy the owner's manual and read like a whole chapter before even doing anything. But fucking guys got like a 40-minute video and you just literally follow the steps.
Like, yeah, piece by piece.
Yeah.
But I just think that's crazy. Driving a car, like, damn, that's fucking insane.
Was that little fat black kid who wanted to do hood rat stuff with his friends?
Hood rat shit with his friends.
What was it? What was the name of it?
Is that how he learned how to drive from the hood rat kid? All right, I got. You got anything else, Anthony?
No, that was it.
All right, I got some stuff to end the pod with. So I'll ask and whoever wants to answer first, if they are comfortable answering. What habit do you have that you're like low key embarrassed about the most? If you're cool sharing it, if it's not that big a deal. Like I'm not talking like like every time you turn on, you got to put a pincushion through your left testicle kind of shit. Just it's like I guess basic shit you do.
I bite my nails like excessively, and then like kind of I'm pretty gross. I throw like the nails like on the floor in my car. so when I go get a car wash and I have to vacuum the floor, I'm like, fuck, I have a fucking shitload of nails in my fucking car.
That's just funny. Does it gross you out, or you don't give a fuck because it's your nails?
It's gross when I have to vacuum them up, but like I don't think about it when I'm biting my nails.
You don't ever think to just roll down your window and fucking throw it out there?
I do, but then I got the air on, and I'm like,
it's a hassle. That's the most first world shit I've ever heard right there.
On the fucking window, and the window's electric.
And there's there's kids somewhere out there walking like 13 miles to school, and you're just like, I got the air on.
It's not even like back in the day where you had to fucking like fucking unroll like on whatever the fuck this is. What the fuck would you call this?
A lever?
I don't know.
Yeah, it is like a lever, a handle. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. You know what? It probably has an official name. I don't know what it is, but my truck has windows like that. You got to manually roll them down.
Yeah.
Anyone have anything else? Like just
Damn,
like
I'm pissed. I can't think of one.
I really can't think right now.
I'm sure there's a bunch of things
Well, like
too.
you just eat too much. I mean, but other than that, I'm just kidding.
Biting my nails is bad.
Yeah, because believe it or not, but I don't want to take it. I actually do that too. I bite my nails.
Oh no, come on, something else.
But I'm not gonna copy.
Karina
I'll come up with
says
something.
Karina says I touch my face too much. Like she's like, your hands are fucking dirty. Why do you keep touching your face? You're gonna get like pimples and shit. She thinks that's a bad habit. Like I touch my face too much.
No, that is a bad habit because I mean, I'm an oily motherfucker. So I'll start breaking out if I start doing this a lot, and I do have a bad habit of like doing that. And then sure enough, if I do it enough, I'll get acne. Like all right here.
I touch my face a lot too. But fuck.
I haven't showered in like a week.
I guess
No,
I think a bad habit for me
I fart like a motherfucker like anywhere I go.
in public.
Yeah.
You're not even ashamed of that fucking swamp gas.
Nah.
Have you ever made anyone turn their head like, fuck?
I don't care.
Will you bust ass in a gym when you're lifting?
I have, but on accident because I was powerlifting.
Powerlifting.
Nah, I don't powerlift.
Just the
but
bar's
it
not
was just
power.
heavy.
You gotta have weight on it to be power.
I don't power lift. You just run strong.
You just-
Everything's a power lift when you can't lift it.
For me, like a weird little habit I have that I think I've always had. I don't know if you guys even know I do this, but like when I'm watching something, or if I'm watching something or working really hard on something, if I kind of like I'm running out of shit, I'll just start going like this with my hands. But
I think
like
I've seen that.
you have
Yeah.
when I'm low key, like I've taught myself as I got older, like I can't do that shit in public. Fucking be at the mall like, hey, you guys got socks? Like, can't do that. So what I do when I'm in public is I kind of just put my hands together and I kind of just fuck with them like that. I don't know why. I'm like kind of that person that needs something in their hands, or my fucking hands just do shit by themselves. Another one is I only have one pair of underwear.
Dude, you made me think of something.
What about this one? Have you guys ever you get out of work late, maybe you go to the gym, or maybe you don't even go to the gym, but you just get out of work late, you go to the mall, you're running around, you're eating food, and you feel a little grimy, and you just don't make it in the shower that night.
You come home and fall asleep because you're so tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I did that like 2 days ago.
Do you
It's
just
not
feel?
a habit though.
Do you just feel like this? Oh, you know that's true.
I feel well. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I shower. But
And isn't that always the best shower of your life?
yeah,
That
but
fucking-
I don't like continue. I don't let the filth roll into another day though.
Yeah, no, that's good.
I've done that a number of times.
Dude, this is a fat ass habit of me though. Like that I probably would say I'm getting rid of little by little. I eat at night. Want to call that habit? Like sometimes I'll wake up in the middle of the night, like sleepwalk and sleep eat, go back to bed.
But like, are you like for real sleep eating, or you know what you're doing?
No, like sometimes I'll wake up and I'll barely remember like, oh shit, I ate
Damn.
something. Or like I'll walk past the kitchen and see like what I threw away and I'm like, oh shit, I forgot about that.
You don't remember eating it?
So yeah, sometimes I don't. Yeah, until I
Damn,
see
you're
it.
fat.
And I feel like that's very bad. Yeah, like fuck yeah.
Have you ever eaten anything nasty, like a piece of raw chicken breast or something?
Nah, I don't think so. Hope not.
I notice stuff like when I listen to the pod, just like in my speech, that fucking annoys me that I think are bad habits. Like I say fucking apparently a lot. And then also like there's sometimes when when one of you guys ask a question and I'm answering it, sometimes I'll say like, oh yeah, no. Like I fucking hate when I say, oh yeah, no. Like
Oh, no, yeah.
Or oh no,
oh,
yeah.
yeah, or like what are those things? It's just like say fucking yes or no. Like
There was
what
a
the
foreign
fuck?
exchange student in my class that was like, Americans are so confusing because they're the only people, if you ask something, they say no, yes, or yes, no. He goes, so me being a foreigner, now I am really fucking confused.
That's funny.
He's like, because in my country, it's just the yes and you explain, or the no and you explain. None of this yes, no, no, yes. And I was like, go back to that shit country.
I just thought this was like mind blowing to me. We talked about weird habits, whatever, and I thought about this because my wife, would work with autistic kids and stuff, and it sucks how you have to train them to do certain things or get rid of certain habits. And you reminded me of that, like with the whole hand thing, and like you just kind of do this because it's more like normal. Like she was saying, like some kids would like hit their heads like this, and we all think that's weird, right? And like they try to teach them to kind of just like rub their thighs or something, and it did make me think like, why is rubbing your thighs normal? You know what I mean? But like this is so weird.
I just
kind of sucks.
I think it draws less attention to yourself because if you're just sitting in a chair going like this, like you're at a mall or at dinner, maybe a few people might catch you. But if you're fucking doing this, dude, everyone's gonna turn around. That's why I do it. Like when I get like really nervous, like I'm watching a football game,
It's less.
I fucking that fist gets tight, and I just keep doing that over and over and over. Sometimes I don't even realize I'm doing it.
Yeah, or like this at the table. Like, is that weird?
Oh, you know who I am? I'm that fucking pen clicker in class, and I'll hear it a few times, and I'm like, fuck, I gotta stop because that shit's probably pissing somebody off.
I don't know. I just think that's weird. Like, why do I get the attention thing to some degree, but
Well, that's why I taught myself like the little other ways to do it. Because if I'm home alone in the comfort of my own home, and I'm like fucking working on a paper and I'm all stressed out, and I'm like my thought process isn't where I want it to be, I swear I'm all by myself. I'll push myself away from the desk and go like, okay, fuck. Like it's like 14th century, so that law was passed, and, it's fuck, and then I catch myself. I'm like, I bet I look like a fucking moron right now. Like if someone who didn't know me walked in and that was the first time they saw me, be like, oh, that's Adrian. Yeah, let's keep going. There's the guy that was in the classes at the back of the campus. What about you? Did you ever say you have anything weird besides being like a average ass dad?
Weird.
Besides busting ass, I can't believe you're an ass buster. Like I'll bust ass in public, but I'll have shame about it. I'll literally look around and be like, "Fuck!" I hope no one's walking near me.
when you're talking fucking, I say fucking as the filler word. That's a stupid fucking filler word, and I just kind of did it. But yeah, like I hate that. That's like my a fucking, and I hate that.
Or when I'm out in public, I'm always like shooting a J or something. I'll just be walking around just like or
Dude, Mark does the
doing
same
like a
thing.
finger roll
You know,
or
Mark
like a
does. Mark
cross.
does. Mark does finger rolls, and all the fucking thresholds. Of the
Mark
house.
does finger bangs.
Yeah,
Oh
that's-
yeah, I'll do that too. Actually,
You and
I'll
Mark
be
are
like,
the same. Like Mark will be there and he's go fucking Euro step and lay up the fridge and shit.
I do the same thing too, but I wonder if people
But just
think
not
like
finesse,
you're
though,
fat
huh?
ass. You ain't balling. I bet they look at me like that.
Oh, your bank account's balling. You're able to afford to eat like that. That's expensive.
You know what I noticed I do at work? Like when people ask me if we have stuff that I know we don't have, I go, Nah, like but I have to do
Yeah, me
like
too.
I have to like suck my teeth before I like nah.
Is it
nah, I
because
don't
you think
so.
they took time out of their day and they drove all this way to see you for a specific item? You're like, nah.
about
you
the
feel bad
pain
about
or
it?
say no?
Because then if I'm just like no, like I feel like
being rude.
they'll feel like I don't feel bad about them not getting the shit that they
And
want.
you're lazy and
so I'm
don't
like
wanna check.
you know, I wish I did, but
Oh, so
Nah.
you're doing that so like I don't know, like you make them feel like, oh, that sucks, but no, I don't got it.
like it really sucks. This guy wishes he had what I had, or what I want.
You know what's another one that my wife pointed out to me? And it's funny because I just substituted with another word. I would say sadly a lot. Like sadly this, whatever negative. I say sad. And now I say unfortunately. And it's like, it's the same shit.
You know, it
Yeah,
always
filler
makes-
words are very hard to get rid of because like and fucking and unfortunately or probably or supposedly, like what the fuck else? Were you just gonna talk? That's nonsense.
Do you know what made me laugh? That one time, I think you were telling us about your day, like in the group message or something like that, and then somebody put like weird, and then like Savwood after that was like odd, and then like I came in and I was like peculiar, like we just kept like fucking, we just kept saying like stupider shit. And then
Obscure.
you're like, oh, okay, Dick, I fucking get it. There's many ways to say I had a weird fucking day.
That's pretty fucking funny.
All right, well that wraps that shit up. Last question, and I want AJ to answer first. Would you rather be vegan for the rest of your life or never be able to watch any sport again?
Oh, vegan.
You'll be vegan.
I love sports too much. That's all I watch. Sports.
Pick up a
porn.
book. Hey, why don't you just read about sports now?
Read the paper.
Imagine,
Sports.
fuck, babe, we lost. Like the next day.
She knows it. Everything.
Yeah, if you were, oh no, you know, what, never mind. I'm not gonna say it because I want to see if he's gonna do it. All right, so he would be vegan because he loves sports too much, which honestly fucking shocks me. I thought there was no way in hell you were choosing the other way around. But go, Anthony,
I feel like you guys know my answer.
sports. You would never watch sports again.
I would never watch sports again.
Yeah,
he
because you're
doesn't
eating
watch
yourself to death and you don't want to give it up.
I'm gonna miss the shit out of basketball, but I could live without it.
You could play it still.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
like flip side. Like football. Fuck you gonna do? Suit up at the park? Hey kid, throw me that pigskin.
How does it work? Like if I lose the first pickup game, like I can't watch them. I gotta like
See?
turn away.
Here it goes. Here it goes. You know what I thought he was gonna say? Oh, easy. I'll just pick the sports and I'll turn it on the TV and I'll listen. Piece of shit. I'm surprised you didn't go that route. All right, Ray. You eating plants and fucking seeds?
Yeah, I'd be a vegan too.
You're going vegan?
Yeah.
You need it, but you really would?
You
Oh
need
yeah,
it.
same thing as AJ. Like, I don't know, nothing gets me lit up like watching some sports. It can be anything, be like boxing, like football, UFC.
Yeah,
ever took
basketball?
Sports gives you the best kind of jazz.
Yeah, it does. Fuck, I fucking love that we started
Like,
saying jazz.
you know what? Yeah, I had the most fun at the USC football game.
Yeah, shit like that just gets.
Oh, I had a fucking blast.
And we wouldn't have been able to do that. Me, I would easily give up sports. Fucking kidding me? Rack of ribs, filet mignon. I can't give that shit up.
I would just eat fish.
You can't eat fish.
A vegan, Ray. That means not even honey. Because it's an
fuck.
animal product.
Well,
I was gonna
That
say
means
no
you can't
eggs?
even.
No.
That means guys
No
can't
eggs.
even do sperm on your back because it's animal product.
But you can't swallow it.
you can't even do sperm on your back.
He could like swirl it around in his mouth. Just gotta
You gotta
spit it out.
bro. You got Listerine in that bitch.
Oh my god, that gave me chills right now thinking about that visual.
Dude,
What, jazz?
Jazz? Like
What,
Like good, like horny.
you're
chill?
turned on?
Anthony
You're
said I'm
aroused?
taking it in. No, not the chills. Like fuck, I get the chills with like it's a spidey sense. Like I don't like that.
And you know
shit.
what?
Oh,
you know
like
what?
you want-
I'm gonna
like
ask.
you want jazz?
I'm gonna ask Chris in the group message if he'd rather be vegan right now or watch sports.
Nah, Chris is a meat guy.
I have a feeling he's like, "Fuck, I'll miss." You know what though, dude?
we should text him while we're on the pod.
Text him
Make
right
him
now.
still a part of
Text
it.
him. Someone text him. Someone text him. I want his input in this shit.
Then we could mention it.
What do you guys say? I say Chris gives up sports
I say Chris.
because Chris fucking hates plants.
Yeah, I feel like Chris would give up sports. But I don't know. He really fucking fucks with sports too, right? Like he fucks with soccer heavy. So
Yeah.
What's the question?
Like, would you rather be vegan for the rest of your life or never be able to watch sports again? So we're talking all the good shit: table tennis, ultimate frisbee, golf, women's NASCAR.
but then again he might not even answer.
Women's NASCAR.
At least in a timely fashion.
There's probably so much accidents in women's NASCAR.
They don't even, well, yeah, they don't even use our fucking blinker.
All right, text him.
Oh, you know what? My brother and some chick he's chilling with right now asked me a question, and I want to know what you guys think about it. Most of the time, if you see someone driving really fast or just really stupid, more likely is that a male or a female driver? Like if you're just like, wow, and then you actually pull up with them, what do you guys observe?
I want to say 60-40 female. No lie.
I think 70-30 male, but I could see how females are like that. But I think I usually see fucking guys driving their little Subarus all fucking fast on the freeway.
Then don't be jealous because they
Dead
make more
ass.
bread.
I see a lot of mom cars driving like that too.
Like what? Like Mazda,
Like a
CX-3, CX-5?
like a brand new 2019 CX-5 just hauling.
I bet you cut someone off and that's what you think. They're like, man, fuck this, mom.
They look, oh, it's just a pussy.
What about you, Ray? What do you say your stats are on that?
I'd hate to be that guy, but usually when I pull up and I have a complaint about the person driving in front of me or near me, and I always think it's a woman, and so some of the times I observe it and it is.
But is it more times than not? You would say?
I would say more times than not.
All right. I honestly think for me, it's like I think AJ had it right, like 60-40 female. Like maybe I'm like, what the fuck is going on there? But yeah, there's I mean,
And they're doing their makeup while doing that.
don't let it take away from the fact that there are a lot of stupid fucking dudes out there. I'm not saying there aren't, but most of the time, isn't it funny? Most of the time, I do see chicks driving really stupid. It is like makeup or they're on the phone. I saw one chick last week yelling, fucking screaming at her phone. I don't think I've ever laughed that hard in my life on the 10 freeway.
Did the girl that asked you this question, did she answer it herself?
Oh yeah, she thinks it's men, like 90% men and like 10%
They're
women.
never wrong.
Well, I was just
That's
thinking
why they
about.
never make lefts when they're driving.
I was just thinking about like racing and shit.
No, not
I think
racing.
I see
Like,
more men.
just stupid. Like you're driving really slow. You're not losing your blinker. Like you're on the phone. Like that kind of like everything that encompasses like what
Okay,
the
then
fuck driving.
I'll change my answer to 70-30.
Oh,
female.
racing is for sure, dudes. Like
Yeah,
racing.
I meant like hauling ass, like motherfuckers swerving in
no,
and
yeah,
out.
yeah. It's the guys that get people killed because they're fucking going 140 in their mom's Cadillac. All right, anyone else got anything to add? That's all I got.
No, I don't think I do.
AJ, any parting words?
Wait.
Oh,
The dots are popping up. We got
Oh.
dots. We got dots.
and first thing I was
Yeah.
looking in the group message.
Yeah.
Let me see what you asked them.
Uh-oh, we got dots.
We got dots. We got dots.
Oh yeah,
We got dots.
yeah. We're just waiting to end this motherfucker out as soon as
I don't think. I just see dots.
he's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. These dots are persistent.
Dick, it's gonna be one of those things where it's a bunch of dots and it just says "Shut the fuck up, AJ."
What if, hey, he's gonna cut a deal.
Or is that
I'll go vegetarian and I'll only watch football.
I'll say two quick stories.
Oh wait.
Did he answer?
I'm all about competition. Going vegan would be a challenge. I'd go vegan.
Oh fuck. Okay, I'm surprised. I guess me and Anthony are the only ones that bitch out. Yeah. Fuck sports. I want a cheeseburger. All that Beyond Meat. Yeah, you could get that Beyond
Yeah.
the fuck from me.
I was about to say, don't they have like those plant-based burgers now that it
Yeah,
tastes like the
plant-based
real,
ribs.
tastes like
yeah,
the real
if you
thing?
want to
and
eat
shit?
ass though, you could eat someone's ass. Like you don't have to buy it in the store. You could literally just pull a person's pants down, tongue fuck their asshole. That's the same thing as those Beyond
Hey,
Meat
I'm gonna
patties.
tell you right now. If Beyond Meat tastes like that, I'm eating the wrong kind of meat, my boy. I'm God.
Oh, you're a cheat guy, huh?
Bitch, I eat ass.
All right. Well, now that we got Chris's answer, I'm fucking really surprised. He shocked the shit out of me. But I mean, that's all I got.
Race. You know what's your
Fuck
bad
you,
habit?
Chris.
Fucking with the mic.
Oh, yeah.
Stop doing that.
You know what? And
Why you fuck
stroking
with the
it
mic?
and licking the tip of it and pretending
in your
that the mic
butt.
shooting stuff, going all podcast long, motherfuckers like this.
I've seen them once or twice.
That's not a bad habit.
or talking with this whole piece covered or in your mouth.
Before the pod, this motherfucker said he wanted to stick 2 carrots in his ass for fun. Or what'd you say?
No, I just said.
He said, Ray said, hey, AJ, how sick would it be if you came in my mouth? and then he said, oh, that'd be fucking badass.
No,
Huh?
I did. I opened the fridge and I saw all the carrots and I said, "Hey, which one of us do you think could do the funniest thing with the carrot?" That's what I said.
And then you wanted to turn it into a brown carrot.
No, I didn't. No.
Ray, you said that with a carrot 2 inches deep in your booty.
Ray had 3 carrots in his ass and 2 in his mouth. He's fucking working all orifices.
And it was funny. It was funny. He won.
Yeah, I pretended I was smoking a
It was
cigar.
badass.
I pretended I was smoking a cigar. AJ pretended he was playing basketball. Anthony pretended he was. No, Anthony just deep throated 1. But Ray deep throated 3, and he took 2 in the ass. Hats off. That was the funniest shit I've ever seen him do with the carrot. All right.
well, that's
All right, carrot ass fucker. You got anything? You got anything to end it with?
no, bitch.
He just wants to know if he can take the rest of the carrots home.
Oh, there's also a cucumber and eggplant in there. Back shelf if you're interested. Ass fucker. All right, pervert. Go ahead, take it away.
None of that stuff happened, but none of it at all. But who knows? Maybe we'll talk a little bit more after this.
AJ, any last words?
Yeah. Ray, you better take those carrots home and get those carrots out the fridge.
You could make a lot of money
They're
on
used
YouPorn.
goods now, bro.
Oh, hey, Arroyo, let's set a date.
Oh yeah, that's a good call out.
Yeah.
Come catch this body, because I'm just getting fucking bored all day long.
Dude, I think we're gonna keep setting dates until we're like fucking.
Honestly,
There we go. He
Bye.
busts ass. He's busting ass.
Very good.
All right, see you guys later.
Are those are those